The views and opinions expressed on this program are not necessarily those of this station, JVC Broadcasting Management, or its sponsors.
With so many people living longer, the fear of outliving your money becomes a reality for many of us. Will I be a financial burden? Will I outlive my money? How will I be remembered? My name is Neil Himmelstein, president of Main Street Planning Group. Please contact me by visiting mainstreetplanninggroup.com. That's mainstreetplanninggroup.com, or call 631-647-4694. I will introduce you to strategies that will guarantee you will not outlive your money, that can guarantee you will not be a burden on your loved ones. Through a collaborative approach, we will uncover solutions that offer tax-efficient strategies, lifetime income, and legacy planning, choice, organization, direction, and education. That is the code we stand behind. Contact mainstreetplanninggroup.com. That's mainstreetplanninggroup.com, or call 631-647-4694. And listen to me every Friday at 3 p.m. as I host the Main Street Code for Financial Success, right here on 103.9 LI News Radio. Welcome to the Main Street Code for Financial Success. I'm your host, Neil Himmelstein. I can be reached at 631-647-4694. You can always visit me on my website at the Main Street Planning Group. It is a gorgeous day here on Long Island. I hope you're enjoying. You get out and enjoy the sun a little bit. It's nice to see that spring is finally here. Hope it stays. I want to talk this week about the Fed raised its interest rates earlier this week. We have inflation, which we've been talking about, is running at 7.5% to 7.9%. And the market is very turbulent. You know, it's up a day, it was down a couple weeks, then it went up, and it's going to remain turbulent as long as we have wars and this and that. And inflation predicted to stay high, as the Fed is going to make more interest rate increases, and these are interest rate increases around the world. This is the first time in many, many years. This is the largest inflationary period we've had since 1982. It's been a long time. Now, will this continue forever? I don't think so, but this gives you pause as to, if you're invested in the market, to take some of it off the table and make sure you get able to keep that money, to keep your gains, especially if you're near or at retirement. You want to take some of that off the table and keep up with inflation, but be safe with your money. I opened up Newsday a couple days this week, and I was shocked to see a half-page ad from a bank who's now offering 1% for a 2-year CD, a big 1%. Now, we're in a 7% inflationary period, and they're offering 1% for a CD, and that's the highest rate in New York right now, 1%. So let's talk about CDs, and we've talked about them in the past. You may or may not realize that if you put in money into a CD, that it is taxed every year. So let's say you bought in, and I know people who chase CDs. They chase rates. One's due, they run to the best bank for the next rate, and they've been doing this, and they've got multiple CDs, and I'm telling you, they do not keep up with inflation, and they're taxed every year. So I happen to think about this, and if I put in $100,000 and I got 1% on my CD, which is high right now because most of them are paying a lot less, at the end of the year, I would have $101,000. However, if I'm in a 25% tax bracket, I'd have to pay $250 in taxes, so my net at the end of year one would be $100,750. Now just follow me here. Let's say we just keep that money in that CD. And by the way, if you take money out of a CD, they penalize you. So at the end of a year, I'm going to have $100,750 after I pay my taxes. Now I put that and I keep that there. And next year I make a little more than $1,000. I'll make $1,010 because whatever is left in the account will earn that 1% interest. I'll have to pay $253 in taxes. So if we do this after 5 years, just taking out taxes at 1%, we buy a 5-year CD, okay, we're going to have, and I ran the numbers this morning, $104,841. That's a gain of $4,840. That's not even 1% a year on your money. Now, if you add inflation in at 7% or 7.5%, which we're at right now, now let's say it's even 5%, that $104,000, you would actually need $150,000 to equal the buying power of that $104,000. So you're losing money to inflation and taxes every day you're in that CD. Now, what really pisses me off, and I'm sorry, it annoys me, is the bank never tells you how much money they're making on your money. Now, the bank averages maybe 20% a year on your money. So they take your money and they loan it out in credit cards. And credit cards are getting 20, 25%. They don't even care if some of the credit cards default because they're making so much money on your money. In 5 years, if they make 20% on average, they'll have made $100,000 on your $100,000. Oh, they gave you $4,000. Aren't they generous? Oh, but I have to say, it's really nice to go to your local bank and get a lollipop. Oh, that's right. Because of COVID, they don't give lollipops anymore, but they do give my dog a biscuit when I do the drive-by. Now, I'm not saying don't have a good relationship with your bank. I think it's very important to have a good relationship with your banker. Very important. But understand that that is not a safe place for your money if it's not keeping up with inflation or taxes or interest rate. So, what am I recommending? One of the things you should consider today is a fixed annuity, a deferred annuity. The deferred annuities now are paying over 3% interest rate. For the first time in many years, over 3%, and many of them will offer you a fixed rate for that many years, or they'll offer you a rate that'll change every year with interest rates. So as the Fed keeps bumping up the interest rates, every year you may have an opportunity to have a higher interest rate. But even at the minimum interest rate they're paying you, it's well over what the CD is. And you don't pay taxes every year on that deferred annuity. So the money compounds. So what I did is I did a quick analysis of what $100,000 would do at the end of 5 years at 3%. Now, it's not a great rate. It's not, but, without taking taxes out, you'd have almost $116,000 at the end of 5 years, as opposed to $104,000 without taking any risk whatsoever. Zero risk. So where's the safety? Oh, and by the way, most annuity contracts give you an option to take out 10% of your money a year or up to 15% depending on which annuity you buy, so that you're not locked into this 1% rate for 5 years where you can't touch your money without it costing you money. So I implore you to take some of your money off the table. If you're invested in the market and you're depending on this money to last you for a lifetime or to last you for future events, or this is your safe money, to take some of that safe money and lock it up and make it real safe for you. Don't keep it sitting in a CD or in a bank. You're not earning the interest rate that you could be earning. So I think it's very important that you consider looking at fixed annuities. Now, you may have heard on TV or on the radio, oh, annuities are bad, this and that. There's a company out there that spends a billions of dollars on advertising on the internet and everything. We don't sell annuities. The reason they don't sell annuities is because they're not licensed to sell annuities. You need an insurance license to sell annuities. Annuities are offered by insurance companies. And you worry about the safety. The insurance companies are backed up with reserve funds. The bank is safe. It's FDIC, insured up to $250,000. Well, annuities are really basically insured, protected up to $500,000 in the state of New York. So it's very safe, more liquid than a CD, pays you a much higher rate, and it's tax deferred and the interest compounds. Annuities are something that you should be considering today as part of your portfolio. I'm your host, Neil Himmelstein, and you're listening to the Main Street Code for Financial Success. I can be reached at 631-647-4694. We're going to go to a break. Back in a minute here. Welcome back to the Main Street Code for Financial Success. I'm your host, Neil Himmelstein. If you were listening to me prior to the break, we were talking about fixed annuities, in particular, deferred fixed annuities, which paying much more high interest rate than a CD. Now, we talked about the liquidity, we talked about the safety, and we talked about the taxes being deferred and how your money can accumulate, your safe money can accumulate. Annuities have one other feature that no other financial instrument has. And one of the things an annuity can provide is a guaranteed income for life. And we use these all the time to replace. Actually, we had some clients that came into us in the last couple weeks. And one of the things they wanted to do is they wanted to stop working, but they wanted to replace the income from their work. And I had a woman, she was working 3 days a week part-time. And I said, if you could not work anymore, would you want to do that? She's now 72 years old. And she says, no, I really don't want to work anymore, but, I need the extra cash. Well, we showed her a way with her own assets to replace that with an income she can't outlive, so now she can quit her work and change her lifestyle. Okay? This money comes in every month, just like her Social Security. With this other additional income, she now doesn't have to worry about going to work and dealing with what she has to deal with. This is tremendous. So only annuities have that quality that can give you a guaranteed income for the rest of your life. And they're tax favored. You're not going to be heavily taxed on it. So it's a great financial tool. It should be part of everyone's portfolio, a fixed annuity or an income annuity. And that income can be used to replace your work, to just pay a bill every month that you want to make sure it's paid, whether it's mortgage or rent. That income from that asset can do that and gives you peace of mind. You don't have to worry about it ever. Guaranteed income for the rest of your life. So if you're 70 and you live to 120, it'll keep paying you and paying you and paying you. And some of them are inflation driven as well, that you can put inflation in them. So they'll pay you more the longer you live. What a great tool as part of your financial thing. Now, I'm going to get off my annuity kick for a second and talk about life insurance and long-term care and about something that I do every day, which is as a wholesaler of insurance products, I want to talk about underwriting. And some things have come up that I need to review with you and I need you to think about. If you are buying or purchasing life insurance or you're purchasing long-term care, one of the worst things you can do today is lie or not disclose information about your health. Now, we've had some situations where people said, oh, I'm perfectly healthy. Well, today we can check databases that say you take medicines, and then the particular medicines tell you what you're taking them for, and they can find out. So if you lie on an application or fail to tell the truth, the insurance company looks at you with one eye and says, they're not telling me the truth. I'm not going to offer that person coverage. So I caution everybody, if you're in the midst of purchasing insurance, tell the truth, be upfront. Now, you may think that an insurance company may not like you because of some health history. But today's medical science has changed all that, a lot of that. So for instance, it used to be people with diabetes would have a problem with insurance, but what medical science has figured out is if you've lived with diabetes for a long time, many diabetics take better care of themselves than non-diabetics because they're doing all the right things. They're working out, they're watching what they eat, they're much more meticulous, long-term, watching what they eat, how they use their daily activities, and all those go in the plus column as opposed to the negative column. So just because you have diabetes doesn't mean you can't get coverage. As a matter of fact, some companies even give you credits for good behavior. Heart conditions. Now, it's still not good if you have an early heart attack before age 50 or you have heart issues and family history of heart issues. However, used to be you had a heart attack and next day you were like devastated with a stroke and they couldn't do anything. And sometimes people passed away. Other times they were severely deformed. Now, if they catch your heart early enough, they can fix it. They can keep you alive for a long time. There's many things medical science can do. They can keep us alive many, 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 many years. So things have changed. Cancers. You may have had cancer. We have had situations where clients have had prostate cancer, and 4 years later, 5 years later, we've gotten them great coverage, preferred health, because they caught it early, they knew what they were doing, and if you're diligent about your health and you address your health issues, you're better off than not. But the one thing is, do not hide your health issues. Disclose your health issues. And if you're working with us, we teach you how to not only disclose your health issues, but talk about some of the good things you're doing. Some of the good activities you do. When someone's underwriting an insurance policy, they want to know about the person they're underwriting. They want to know that they eat well, they exercise, they do good things. They go to the doctor. They follow up the doctor's advice. All this is very, very important. It's amazing how I can go to a mechanic and have my oil changed and do all the right things, and my car will last a long time. Well, people take better care of their cars than they take care of themselves, quite frankly. Some people. Some people don't, Other people don't take care of their cars. So when it comes to underwriting, that's one of the things that we thrive in, and we get people coverage that many companies aren't able to get coverage, because we look at those kind of things and we talk about those things. And every time we put an application in for somebody that really wants coverage, we put a cover letter in, just like an application going into a college. We recommend that a cover letter be done to talk about the person so that when it goes into the insurance company, you don't go in like another number. You want to personalize it so that when your application goes into that insurance company and an underwriter looks at it, they know Mrs. Brown, they know Mr. Brown, they know Mrs. Smith. You want them to feel like they know who you are. And then they want to give you credit for good things that you do. Even people that are active in the community or religious or do good activities and are mindful people, they get better offers than non-mindful people. Now, we've had situations where clients have come to us and agents have brought us cases where somebody had a PSA score, I remember, of 10.6. Now, if anybody knows anything about PSA, anything over 4.0 they think is cancer. But we asked another question. We asked the gentleman, do you do any hazardous activities like ride a horse? Well, he happened to sell horseback equipment, and he rode horses 3 days a week. We had an insurance company give him preferred rate at 72 for $3 million, preferred. Nobody else in the country could do that. But we asked the extra question, and we had a carrier that did the extra research to find out that this guy doesn't have cancer. He just has a swollen prostate. But we do this every day at Main Street Planning Group. That's part of what we do as far as underwriting experts. That's a big thing what we do. Anyhow, we're going to go shortly. I'll be in North Carolina next week. I'll be speaking at a national conference for long-term care. There'll be 1,000 attendees. Hopefully, we'll get some film of that and pop it on the website. I'm very honored to be a national spokesman for long-term care. I think it's a very important thing to be talking about and thinking about and having a plan. You're listening to the Main Street Code for Financial Success. And I'm Neil Himmelstein, and we have a gorgeous day on Long Island, and I hope everybody is doing well. Thanks again.
The views and opinions expressed on this program are not necessarily those of this station, JVC Broadcasting Management, or its sponsors.